Welcome to the podcast where mental health is at the core of what we focus on. We strive to develop people like you to maximize who you are and what you've been called to do by sharing tools and resources for better brain health. And now here's your host, Juan Garcia.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Today's Monday, which means it's Mindfulness Monday. And I want to focus on the words that we say. You know, our words are powerful. Our words have the power to either construct or destruct. So we can build people up, encourage them, or we can destroy. And I know that a lot of times we may have good intentions in what we say, but ultimately they create damage. And so what I want today to focus on is the motivation behind why we say what we say. And sometimes there are things that should not be said. Sometimes even if you are right, you're 100% justifiable, it's just something that you may not have to say. And sometimes it's just a matter of keeping peace and also just maintaining a healthy relationship with not only other people but with yourself. And at times it's best just to not say certain things. Obviously there are times where things are needed to be said, but I believe that there are times where, you know, if our motivation is to be right, then we probably shouldn't say what we end up saying. If our motivation is to try to help someone, knowing that that person potentially may be open to what we have to say, then you can probably say this is a good time to share this information or this fact. Now, another thing is it's important that what we do have to share is fact-based. It's not an opinion necessarily. It's not something we've been thinking about, but something that is actually factual. If we're trying to help someone, whether it's in giving them advice, trying to help them see something for what it is, we should always come from a place of giving them information that's truthful, that is fact-based and not opinionated or opinion-based. Also, another thing we should consider when we are saying things that we either should say or shouldn't say is what emotion is behind what we're trying to say. Are we trying to shed light on how angry we are or how hurt we feel, or we're trying to just project onto someone else how we think they should be or should feel? We need to find out what our motive behind what we're saying is, and that'll be important as to the results that we get from the people that we're saying it to. And I would say lastly, social media is not a place to share our emotions. Now, obviously, there are things that are being circulated that we either retweet or share or tweet, and it's easy to do that because we feel strongly about what that quote is or picture of something that we care about or we agree with, and that's understandable. But if we know that the masses that are going to see this will not understand or will jump to conclusions, assume things, commit what I like to call a suicide, then we have to be careful as to whether we want to, share that or not. I know some people may be listening to this or watching and saying, you know what, I don't care. It's how I feel, and I'm just going to put it out there. And I get it. At a certain point in time, we have to realize that what we put out there, what we say, because whatever we put on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter, whatever we put, Snapchat, is words that are being said, whether through what we type or through a sharing of a post or a picture. So always remember that whatever you share is a direct thing that you're actually saying. And you may be saying, but I didn't say that. Yeah, but you shared it. So in essence, and in theory, you did say it. And so the important thing about that is that you commit to the consequences of that. And if you are okay with, people coming at you some type of way, then you have to be okay with that. But if you want to have healthy conversations where it's a dialogue between two or more people, that you want to make sure that things are being said with good intentions, with clean and healthy motivations, then you want to make sure that you're mindful of what actually is being said. Because again, what we say matters. And it's like, toothpaste. Once you squeeze it out of that tube, you can't put it back. I mean, you can try, but it's not going to work. It's going to be a mess. And I feel that a lot of times what we're dealing with in the world really is a lack of clear communication, number one. Number two, a lot of people are misunderstood, and it's because of words that are either being said or not said. And there's a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of assumicides. People assuming that someone meant something when in actuality they didn't mean that thing, or they meant something totally different. So making sure that we're using the platforms that we have, that we're sharing the words that we want to share with the right motivation, with the healthy intent, will allow us to have a better dialogue, better communication, better conversations. So even if at the end of it we agree to disagree, that's okay, because at least it was a healthy dialogue that we had. And lastly, I will say this. Our words are powerful. And so as we choose our words, be okay with silence. Be okay with just sitting in silence, or the person you're talking to being silent for a moment while they gather their thoughts, they gather what they want to say, and make sure that their motivation is right. Because a lot of times we're saying, oh, but he didn't say anything, or she didn't say anything. And it's probably best that way, because they're probably processing and making sure that what they say is not coming across in a way where it's hurtful and it creates more damage than good. And so I know the older folk used to say that if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. There's truth to that, but there's also an aspect of that as long as what we have to say is to build up, and there's a place for dialogue and conversation, it may not be so nice, but it's helpful, and it will bring some type of clarity to a conversation. I think it's okay to say, as long as you understand that that person is going to have a right to reply, to rebuttal, to share how they feel, so that things are clear and you're both on the same page in terms of clarity and understanding. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. Remember that we are here to support you, to serve you, and to help you along your journey. So if you're having some communication issues with a partner, someone in relationship, or you're having issues at work, you're having issues in parenting, or if you're a child, you have an issue with your parents understanding you, we are here to serve you. We have a counseling center in Hawthorne, New Jersey, under Life Focus Center, which is where we work. And we can provide counseling services from anyone as young as 7 years old all the way up the ladder. And we want to meet you where you are and help you along the way, so that you can maximize the potential that you have in this world. So reach out to us. My email address will be in the link in the description below, and also our website, so you can visit us and check out the schedule, the calendar, so that you can book an appointment with us, so we can serve you as best as we can. So keep saying positive and truthful things, and also be a good listener. So as you're hearing what you're being told, or it's being said to you, you are processing it for what it is and not for what you think it should be. All right? We'll see you in the next episode. Take care of yourself and have a great week.
Thank you for tuning into our podcast. For more information, visit our website at juangarciaenterprises.com. Our host, Juan Garcia, is available for speaking, coaching, and one-on-one counseling. You can email us at info@juangarciaenterprises.com. Until next time, remember, we only have one mind, so mind yours.